just joined. I think there's an extra 10 people that's just joined in the last 5 minutes. So what we're going to go over is we'll go over skincare, what Skin Philosophy is about, what the products are about, the ingredients, everything like that. We're also going to go over different types of ingredients as well. And we're also going to go over, because of that, different classifications. So as you may be aware, you will see that in Instagram lately, there has been some people, bloggers, saying that cosmetic or over-the-counter ingredients are the same as cosmeceuticals, and that there is no difference. There is a difference. There's a huge difference, and your industry relies on that, and your education shows that. So it really annoyed me. So I replied to this certain blogger to clearly put the information properly, that there is a huge difference between cosmetical and pharmaceutical, with cosmeceutical somewhere in the middle. So this is what I wanted to go over first, because I want to make sure that you all understand the big difference of you selling something that's cosmetic, that's over the counter, to something that is cosmeceutical, or to something that is pharmaceutical. So I want to go over this first, and then we'll go into ingredients, and then we're going to go into the ingredients we have within ours. So I'm going to answer questions at the end, just because I don't want to stop and start in the middle. So we'll go through all the questions. You can type them in, and then we'll answer them as you go through. So first of all, I want to go through pharmaceutical, cosmeceutical, and cosmetic. Cosmetic, the definition of it is that it is to change the appearance of your skin. So a good one for that is, say for example, you have a spot cream. Now, a cosmetic product will hide the spot. A cosmeceutical product will fight the bacteria within the spot from deeper within the skin. And then a pharmaceutical is a completely different level altogether. So this is one of the main differences. FDA do not recognize cosmeceutical as a definition, but they still regulate cosmeceutical ingredients. And just because FDA say it's not a definition, it is still recognized within like cosmetics in directories, cosmetics regulatory bodies. So it's recognized, it's just only the FDA that don't recognize it. But they still regulate it. So basically, cosmetic means that it will, it works on the surface, cannot go into the skin. It can only work on the surface, and it can only help with the appearance of it. So if you watch any advertisements, it will be the appearance of fine lines. It'll reduce the appearance of. That is because it is not allowed to say it'll get rid of lines, or it'll get rid of spots, or anything, or pigmentation, anything like that, because it's legally not allowed to. So then cosmeceutical, so we used to have cosmetic ingredients. Really, when Dermalogica came along was when the kind of shift changes. Dermalogica, aren't really big now. They never really moved on, but 17 years ago, they had just come out, and I remember getting trained in them. And they had used more active ingredients, and they were really one of the starts of using cosmeceutical products. And what it was cosmetic and pharmaceutical, but a blend in between. So it's like a meeting of the middle. So pharmaceutical requires you to set up a company that has pharmaceutical ingredients. You need to have a lot of research, a lot of clinical trials, but not only that, to actually have it within the country, you need to have medical prescribers on board, and it can only be prescribers that can be stockists. So this is like the likes of Abaji, actually Dermaquest is pharmaceutical as well. Who else as well? SkinCeuticals isn't, which is quite, I think they're trying to be. But so when it's pharmaceutical, there's a lot of rigmarole, and there's a lot of, like, anyone who has Obagi or ZO will notice that a lot of products have changed over the years because they've to change the ingredients and change some of the products because of what they were selling by prescription and what they weren't. So if anyone knows ZO, you'll see that the growth factor serum used to have retinol in it, but it was an overnight serum that you used every day and could be bought anywhere. So the overnight serum then was, they took out the retinol, and this is kind of got to do with, you know, the requirements that they need to be meeting. You know, they got stricter on who's selling the accounts, and they got stricter on the medical staff prescriptive. So this is all pharmaceutical. So this is all pharmaceutical, and this is the big difference. So pharmaceutical are stronger. They do require a lot more legislation, but pharmaceutical products are great, to be honest, really, really good. And then you have active ingredients that can penetrate the skin using ingredients such as, for example, you use vitamin E, which is a carrier within the skin. So when you use that ingredient to help penetrate the skin better, that's when it becomes cosmeceutical. So cosmeceutical is it is the carrying of an active ingredient through another ingredient deeper into the skin. So that is the official definition for it. It does exist. What's happening at the moment is now we're having like medical grade skincare versus cosmetic. And this is what some people have been like, well, there is no difference. Medical grade skincare, that's really a kind of term. It's not, there's no definition with that. So if you were to use a term for, say, like Skin Philosophy, you would use, it's a cosmeceutical skincare line. It's not cosmetic, it's cosmeceutical. It means you have to be educated within beauty to have it. You need to be prescribing it to, like, recommending it to your clients. You can't just sell it online because it changes the structure of the skin, and it can get penetrate below the barrier. So this is something that you have to remember when you're talking about it. So I had to get that first out of the way because that really annoyed me when I saw it. And funny enough, from that famous blogger, she didn't reply to my little message to her to put the actual proper facts forward. So cosmetic is over the counter. You don't have to have beauty therapy qualification. It is a sales job, and it only changes the appearance of the skin. For cosmeceutical, it is allowed to penetrate your skin. It uses carrier ingredients within the product to carry active ingredients deeper into the skin. That is the definition. Pharmaceutical changes the structure of your skin to a certain degree. So it's more prescriptive based, medical based. So if someone is talking about the skincare types, you know, you might not be using Skin Philosophy, you could be using something else. But if they're talking about it, that's the difference. You need cosmeceutical ingredients, you need cosmeceutical lines. Okay, so that's my little rant over with. Just give me a second. I'm going to turn on that light. Yeah, I can actually see myself. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go through, so when we're talking about Skin Philosophy, we have a lot of different active ingredients, we have a lot of carriers, and we have a lot of different active ingredients. So say, for example, if you're talking about Aqua Plus, you're talking about 15% hyaluronic acid. So what we're going to do first is go through the different active ingredients that you can get in product lines, and then we'll talk about our products. So then you have the different layers of the skin. So like we discussed, cosmetic is just on the stratum corneum, helping the appearance. And that is a good one to say. So if you say to clients, you know, a cosmetic will use makeup to hide the spot, whereas cosmeceutical will use like 2% salicylic acid at at its purest form to get into the skin and fight the bacteria of the spot to prevent it and to actually dry what's there out. You've the different layers of the skin, which you all should be aware of now. The biggest thing people kind of forget or you need to be aware of is the process of from stratum basal up to stratum corneum. And the process of that leads to how our skin looks. So everything with our skin renewal system it has everything to do with how our skin looks on top. So that's what we're going to talk about, is the process, nice juicy grape into dead, hard, flattened skin cells. So the nice new juicy grape is your stratum basal. And what it does is as it moves up through the layers of the skin, it goes through a process. This pushes out your lipids and your hyaluronic acid, but the water moisture in your skin. And that's what gives you your skin look. So dull skin, aging skin, pigmentation has all got to do with this. Also got to do with acne, breakouts, everything. So I would make sure that you are on top of your skin knowledge. If you feel like you don't know, you know why. If you say, well, this product is good. Say, for example, if I said to you salicylic acid and you said, oh yeah, that's good for spots. And that's it. That's what you know. But how? Why? You should have a really good idea about how the skin works, the proper anatomy of it. And that will actually help you sell your products in the future. So active ingredients, we use the highest concentration of active ingredients that we can. So active ingredients are bioavailable and influence cell behavior, and activities have certain key functions. So for example, when we're talking about stem cells ingredients are going in like peptides. They're going in to replicate or mimic your cell's function and also do that. So for example, I'm a little fibroblast sitting there creating collagen. I'm starting to break down over time because of age. Well, then we'll put a stem cell into the skin and that will mimic that fibroblast, and so I'll have a little twin that's helping me do that. And that's what our stem cells are about. Whether you have like highly active stem cells within your skin ingredient line, how deep they go into the skin, or how many times they're replicating, that really depends on the provider, because only a good provider will be able to, you'll see the results with it, because it's getting the ingredient into the skin. It's making sure that it's replicating the cells within our body, and then it's how long it keeps going on for. So that's a very vague area that people can't really prove. They can prove a peptide, they can prove it how it works, but that formula is key, because then it's how it reacts in your skin if it gets into your skin. So that's another reason why you make sure that you're using a good skincare line. Any skincare line I've always used, I always recommend it. Sometimes I've used stuff and I haven't liked it, but is that I know I'll give it to a client and they'll see results. This isn't tested on animals, it's paraben free, and we make it in the UK. Also, it's vegan. Like there's nothing, it's not vegetarian and slightly there, it's vegan. So there's nothing in it that you are putting onto your skin that has affected animals. So we're going to start off the different ingredients. So AHAs, everyone should have an idea now of AHAs, where it comes from. So AHAs, the biggest ones we'll see is glycolic acid, lactic acid. Those are big ones. Glycolic acid is really good because it increases cell turnover, but it's a general handyman for renewing skin cells. Also as well, what I learned during this process was that glycolic is an amazing anti-ager. So this is something that I only learned a couple of years ago when we started looking at glycolic more, because it wasn't my favorite out of everything. But we'll go on to it in a second. So it's derived from sugarcane. dissolves the sticky bond between skin cells, exfoliating the outer layer of dead skin cells, increases cellular renewal, reduces epidermal cycle duration, aids products of collagen, elastin, fibroblast migration, helps lighten discoloration, leaves the skin firm, soft and smooth. So it's good for thickened, aged skin, photodamaged, pigmentation, open pores, fine lines, wrinkles and breakouts. So 40 plus with dull skin. Now, the reason why. So glycolic increases your cell turnover. So it makes that process of grape to dead skin cells happen quicker, which when we are getting older, it has started to slow down. So that means our nice juicy grape isn't bringing lipids and moisture to the top of the skin as quickly as it should be. That also leads to building up of dead skin cells, and that also leads to dullness and appearance of fine lines that are worse. So glycolic will help with all of that. It also has an immune reaction when it goes onto the skin to stimulate collagen production. But the best thing about it is, so if anyone has ever heard me speaking about skin, when we talk about your epidermis and your dermis starting to like slide on top of each other. So you have what's called, I always call them dermapapillae, but the other name is rete pegs or rete ridges. So rete pegs come up from the dermis into the epidermis, the stratum basal, to connect. So these rete pegs start to break down over time, and our epidermis starts to slide on top because this holds onto it, so our skin moves with expression. But see those lines that are coming up? That's because the epidermis is kind of creating a slide on top of the dermis. I'm really starting to get it now. So what the glycolic does is it actually, so you imagine epidermis, it lengthens the rete ridges. It's proven to lengthen the rete ridges or rete pegs to basically reconnect that epidermis to the dermis, so that it is stopping the formations of lines, which is really important. So yeah, that's what's good about glycolic acid. That's one of my favorite things at the moment, because if anyone knows, that's why we use like retinol is one of those. It also helps with rete ridges. Then we'll go into salicylic acid. Salicylic acid has always been like a favorite of mine because it is exfoliation, antibacterial, but without aggression. So it calms the skin. You can use it on redness, you can use it on rosacea, and you can use it on, like, what the biggest problem we have with acne is that people go at it aggressive and strips the skin. So basically, if you strip the skin too much, then it causes more acne, and you'll know this. So what we need to do is we need to break down the oil, we need to get rid of the excess oil production, and we need to have an antibacterial approach too, without changing the pH of the skin too much. So this is what this does. So salicylic acid, it obviously comes from, yes, just from aspirin. It is derived from, basically its derived first step is willow bark, and then what they do is they actually, that's where aspirin is a chemical compound. When you derive from willow bark, then you get aspirin, then you get salicylic acid. It's one of those in it. So you get it from willow bark first. So it's a natural source first, and then it's chemical connections come together, makes it aspirin, makes the salicylic acid. It enters through the hair follicle, it removes dirt and debris, it's astringent on pores, antibacterial, antimicrobial, reduces inflammation, sebum and production. So it enters through the hair follicle. It's also a key thing for products, because when you enter through the hair follicle, you create the exfoliation process without actually tearing off the skin. So it's a really, really good way if you've someone with strip skin, someone with sensitivity, even rosacea that's not like oil rosacea, but more dry sensitivity rosacea, like strip sensitivity. It's also good for that because it doesn't work on the pH of the skin from the top. It works more of breaking down the skin underneath, like getting into the pore and creating an increase in cell renewal. So it is good for breakouts, oily prone skin, open pores, ingrown hairs, perimenopausal and hormonal breakouts. So the next we have hyaluronic acid. Now everyone is an opinion on hyaluronic acid at the moment, because they've all just discovered the benefits of hyaluronic acid. So when we talk about our dermis and that jelly, this one of the main composures is hyaluronic acid. So you have 4 ingredients in your dermis of your glycosaminoglycans. So one of the 4 is hyaluronic acid, and that is actually the main component of your GAGs, your glycosaminoglycans. So that is what gives you bounce to your skin. The nice chubbiness, that's a hyaluronic acid. So we know that hyaluronic acid attracts 1,000 times its own weight in water. We know that 50% of the body's hyaluronic acid is in the skin, and that's what affects aging. So it retains moisture, reduces inflammation, strengthens the skin natural barrier, reduces the effect of transepidermal water loss. So we all are aware of, it'll hydrate your skin, it'll bring a lot of water to that area. What you might not know is 2 things. Your 2 things with it is that, so your 2 things with your hyaluronic acid is, first of all, when you put hyaluronic acid, if anyone's ever seen someone get eye filler, so eye filler is when you put eye filler in. So filler is hyaluronic acid at a much more cross-linked, larger molecule. So when you put eye filler in, you can get really puffy eyes for a few days. And eye filler, or most filler, but eye filler especially, will last ages. And the reason why is when you put hyaluronic acid into the skin, it also attracts more hyaluronic acid and collagen production to that area. So you're not just putting moisture in, you're not just attracting the weight in water, but you're also creating collagen in that area. And that's why it's so important as well. Now, so with hyaluronic acid, the other thing you have to be wary of is what type of hyaluronic acid. So we just spoke about fillers. Fillers is dense, cross-linked, large molecule hyaluronic acid. That's basically what it is. And you break it down, imagine putting a filler straight on your skin. It's not going to do anything. So you need to have different sections of hyaluronic acid. So you need to have your different molecular sizes. So when you talk about hyaluronic acid going onto the skin, there is not much point in putting hyaluronic acid onto the skin unless you're using a roller with it. So if you see a product that says 10% hyaluronic acid in the ingredients, that is actually not worth anything, because it is large form. What you need is a smaller form. So you have multiple molecular weights, and the most common one is you'll see sodium hyaluronate. Now, sodium hyaluronate will penetrate to the skin to a certain degree and will hydrate to the skin to a certain degree. And then you've smaller molecular weights which actually go straight into the skin. So what you want to do is, if it's sodium hyaluronate and you're using it for someone for dehydration, then you need to suggest a roller with it, because otherwise it'll have a small percentage, but that's it. It'll hydrate the skin, you'll see a difference. But if you use a roller with it, you will see a massive difference with it, because it's actually getting into the skin. So when you're looking at hyaluronic acids, you're looking at different. So for example, if we're looking at Illumier, now Illumier is a funny one because they've 2 products. They've Ultimate Boost and Camor. Now Ultimate Boost is your hydrating serum. And it's, they say that's the one with hyaluronic acid in it. But if you look at the Camor, The Camor needs is basically has your sodium hyaluronate in it, but also it has a much lower molecular weight. That it's their own one they've made themselves. But if you speak to Laumier rep, they'll tell you that as well. Even though the ultimate boost is the hydrating one that only has sodium hyaluronate in it, but the Camor smaller, low molecular weight. So yeah, that so that's what you have to watch out for. If it's sodium hyaluronate, they should be using a roller with it. They should be using a roller anyways with it. We'll go through the rest of the questions at the end because I'll get distracted. Okay, so vitamin C, L-absorbic acid. So, okay, we have multiple different types of vitamin C. There are some that are hydrophobic and there are some that are lipophobic. There are some that are lipophilic and there's some that are hydrophilic. Basically what they mean is that they need to go into your skin with certain formulas. So for example, you would not use a vitamin C on oily skin in a lipophilic, you wouldn't use a lipophilic vitamin C in a formula for oily skin. You would use more of a hydrophilic because it's going into a water-based solution, because if it's going into an oil-based solution, then the serum is going to have oil in it and that is going to cause breakouts. So vitamin C is amazing. It stimulates collagen. Collagen cannot be stimulated unless it has a certain amount of antioxidant or vitamin C, but within the skin. So you need to make sure that your client is using vitamin C within their skincare if you're trying to do skin treatments on. It's as simple as that. You have to frequency, skin needling, peels, anything like that. There's no point if you don't have enough vitamin C levels. And I guarantee you, nobody has enough vitamin C levels at the moment because our fruit and veg doesn't have unless they're taking supplements, doesn't have enough of our nutrition that we used to have through it. So like the percentage of nutrition through our food is so much less now. So I guarantee you, unless they're taking supplements like vitamin C powder or anything like that, they're not going to have enough vitamin C levels. So I would make sure that your client is on vitamin C. So vitamin C is antioxidants. It fights through free radicals. Now, we know what free radicals are. They're like little Pac-Man, not Pac-Man, they're little gangsters that come in and disrupt our skin. So basically, what you're going to have is a gangster will come in and he'll disrupt the function of your skin cell, and that skin cell will also turn into a gangster or your body cell. So then you will have multiple within your skin, and that will cause, which is like basically aging. But you need to calm this gangster down, and that is how you use vitamin C. So antioxidant is it's allowed to let go some of its good people to calm the gangster down, because every molecule has a certain amount of ions attached to it, and vitamin C is one of those ingredients that can lose a load of ions without becoming a gangster. So this is why it's really, really good as an antioxidant. So it's an antioxidant, fights free radicals, calms inflammation, brightens skin, retains moisture, strengthens capillary walls, stabilizes vitamin D. It's lightening, brightening, tightening, and you cannot create new collagen if you don't have enough vitamin C levels in your skin. All skin types: damaged skin, broken capillaries, redness, rosacea prone, thickened, aged skin. You cannot store or produce your own vitamin C. So this is why they say, like, supplements don't work because it goes straight out. Well, actually, whatever your body needs, it absorbs and then it excretes the rest. So that's why it's better to have, say, for example, if I'm taking supplements like a vitamin drink, like SkinAid or anything like that, I will open it and drink it throughout the day, because if I open it and drink it, then the supplements they won't be as effective. The other thing is if you are worried about clients getting breakouts, you're making sure that you're not using a vitamin C with ferulic acid in it, because ferulic acid is really linked to breakouts as well within vitamin C. So, retinoids. Okay, the term retinoid refers to any vitamin A based molecule. It is a category similar to saying antibiotics. They may be related, but some are stronger and more effective than others. Retinoid has the ability to help unplug pores, even out skin discoloration, restore vibrancy to complexion, reduces oiliness, treats skin concerns, and improves the appearance of wrinkles. A retinol is the same effect as retinoid acid without the side effects. So it's a type of, retinol is derived from vitamin A, increases skin thickness, and it's an antioxidant as well. So cell communicator, proliferation, turnover, exfoliation, triggers GAG production and stimulates proliferation of elastin, glycosaminoglycans, polysaccharides in dermis, and thus hyaluronic acid natural moisturizer. So retinols will increase your cell renewal. And how will increase your cell renewal is it'll create a new line of grapes at the bottom. So it'll push off the top. That's why you get peeling with stronger percentages of retinol. So it creates a new line of grapes and increases that process of cell renewal. It stimulates GAG production, which is again, your jelly to your skin, stimulation, collagen, elastin activity, and hyaluronic acid in that area. It will thicken the skin over time, but this is over a longer period of time. It does thin the skin because, first of all, you will get that peeling, and before it strengthens up and thickens up the skin. Thickening up the skin, if you look at someone who's used retinol for years, they look like they have fillers. They might not have, it has to be someone who doesn't have fillers, but their skin is thick and it looks so good. But it's about not thinning the skin and building the skin. So this will go on to in the future. Most usable form of vitamin A absorbs quickly into the skin. Also, retinol is meant to be in your dermis. So making sure you're at the proper molecular structure at the end in your product, that's a huge thing. So you'll see now there's encapsulated slow release retinol. So that if you put a retinol and it gets really aggravated on the skin, irritated just once, maybe twice, it gets really aggravated, that is probably because it's not encapsulated and it's not slow release. So basically it's going onto the skin and trying to increase cell renewal straight away. So what you wanted to do is to work its way down into the skin and then work on the skin. So that's why it's important to make sure that the molecular structure and the formula is right. And more potent than retinol palmitate. So retinol is more potent than retinol palmitate. Retinol palmitate needs to get converted into retinol before it can turn into vitamin A on the skin. And retinol palmitate is what we use in our ingredients. And I'll tell you why afterwards. So retinol palmitate is vitamin A. It stimulates fibroblast activity, increases collagen and elastin, reduces epidermal cycle time, and increases cell turnover. It's clinically proven to reverse the signs of aging. So the reduction, it is retinol and retinol palmitate. Retinol is the only proven ingredient to reduce lines. Okay, you can exfoliation can reduce the appearance of lines, but retinol is the actually only clinically proven ingredient to actually reduce the signs of aging. It's good for photo damage, free lines, wrinkles, damaged scar, pigmentation, smokers, drinkers. It's also great for rosacea skin. Really works for rosacea skin, and it's also good for acne skin. So if you want to really boost your skin routine with using it, it's brilliant for it. So that's retinol. And then you have peptides. So peptides are like these stem cells, kind of. Peptides are molecules that signal the skin cells to produce new proteins. Peptides are capable of penetrating the uppermost layers of the skin as well as having anti-aging effects. The molecules are a chain of amino acids. Amino acids are inorganic compounds that contain a carboxy and an amino acid chain. Chains of amino acids make peptides. Peptides stimulate the production of collagen in the skin. So basically what it's doing is it's your DNA chain strands that break down over time. It stimulates that reaction within your skin. The peptide that's used is what defines what it stimulates. So for example, stimulating collagen, there'll be a certain peptide that's formulated within a laboratory that's trademarked then to a certain name, and then that peptide stimulates collagen, and that's what it's made to do. So when it goes into the skin, it sees a fibroblast, imitates it, and starts stimulating collagen. Tripeptide 1 is a specific type of peptide known as PAL for GHK, palmitoyl oligopeptide, and palmitoyl. It's synthetic fatty acid linked to peptides, can help repair visible skin damage, strengthens the skin underlying supportive elements, categorized as a messenger peptide because of the ability to tell the skin how to look better, specifically in regard to visible signs of sun damage like wrinkles and rough texture. And the reason this one is, so example, you'll see this in some of our products. And the reason I like this one is because of it sits in fatty acid. So it stimulates collagen production, and it's a fatty acid peptide. So it means that as you get older, you get less oil in your skin. And that's one of the reasons why you get aging so much. So it will, it'll not only stimulate that collagen, but increase the amount of oil in your skin, which will help keep the bounce to your skin, which is really important. All skin types, dehydrated, post-procedure, and definitely aging skin. Carproyl tetrapeptide stimulates the production of synthesis of collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid, repairs the skin smoothness, and derived from a growth factor. It's responsible for sending messages to inform the body to produce collagen. So this one is a child of Matrixyl 3000. So Matrixyl 3000 is this peptide. I remember when it was Image I was with 2007, 2008 was the first time I heard about Matrixyl 3000. Or maybe did Dermalogica have it? I think Dermalogica did at a later stage. But yeah, Matrixyl 3000 was a peptide made in a laboratory that was proven, and it was like one of the first peptides to actually prove to stimulate collagen into the skin. And so this was a huge breakthrough at the time. So this one is kind of a child version of it, where it's like they've taken that peptide and they've gone, okay, this is what we've liked of it, this is what we haven't, and they've developed another peptide off that. If anyone remembers those, there was another one, Snake. So Snake was like huge one because it relaxed the synapses in your muscles to give you a Botox effect within your skin. It's still being used in so many products nowadays. But yeah, peptides are huge. If you want to know what an ingredient is, like a peptide, what it means, what it's used for, what it's proven to do, you can go to a website. So actually, don't go to, put into Google, COSING. So if you put COSING into Google, you will get up the cosmetic directives, which will show you exactly what ingredients are good, bad, do what, proven to. It has everything there, everything. Okay, alpha-arbutin is blocks skin tyronase activity, resulting in the prevention of melanin formation. Everyone should know what tyronase activity is. Tyronase is the production of pigmentation. You want to prevent someone that gets pigmentation from getting pigmentation. For example, me in the sun, need to be careful of upper lip area. You need to use a tyronase inhibitor to prevent that from happening. And alpha-arbutin is a not well known, not used enough ingredient that's brilliant for that. Effective at reversing hyperpigmentation issues such as freckles, sun exposure patches, age spots, and liver spots. Blocks melanin synthesis, which results in brighter, lighter skin. So it's great for exfoliation, and it's great for hyperpigmentation. It lifts off the pigmentation there and stops future pigmentation. Azelaic acid. Azelaic acid is now getting big. It wasn't around for years, but azelaic acid is it is amazing for, it's basically, it's brilliant for exfoliation. It's brilliant for scarring. It's brilliant for like stimulating cell renewal, cleaning out the skin. So it brightens the skin, calms inflammation, reduces the production of keratin, a protein which blocks pores and leads. So it's really a cell renewal kind of ingredient. It's also really good for rosacea, because rosacea, there's with that oil-led rosacea. Don't forget, there's two types of rosacea, two main types. Your oil-led, which is your thickened skin with extra oil, extra bacteria, and that's what's leading to the bumps underneath the skin. Or you have the stripped sensitive rosacea, which is more repairing your barrier. Okay, so it's for damaged, scarred skin. So someone for scarring, that is perfect. The azelaic acid is brilliant for that. Glutathione is a huge antioxidant. So it is being used now. I've seen it more in the last year. It's been used, but it is really a very active antioxidant. It converts melanin to a lighter color and deactivates the enzyme tyronase. It helps to produce pigment. It neutralizes and eliminates the free radicals that damage the skin at the cellular level to cause aging and discoloration. So basically what you have is, when you have a normal antioxidant, you will have it to calm down. Do you remember we were saying about calming down? So it'll calm down. Whereas glutathione is it actually eliminates it, so neutralizes and gets rid of it. So it's a huge antioxidant in the industry. So it's brilliant for people who smoke, sun damage, live in like city areas, pollution, that kind of stuff. So pigmentation, sun damage, aging skin, it's brilliant for. Kojic acid. Kojic acid has long been one of my favorites. So kojic acid comes from mushrooms. It converts melanin to lighter color and also helps with tyrosine. So it lightens and brightens. So it lifts off the pigmentation and is very good as a tyrosine inhibitor as well. So I love kojic acid, have done for years. And this is in our charcoal mask to brighten up the skin. Tara seed, so molecules are extracted from tara seed. So this is what's in our moisturizer. So tara seed is a molecule remains on the surface of the skin, preventing water loss. A moisturizer that delivers both immediate and prolonged hydration and retain water, enhances the appearance and texture by allowing the epidermis to remain hydrated. So tara seed will attract new water molecules, but it'll also prevent the effect of that TEWL, transepidermal water loss. So that's what, there's two things, but that's a huge one for attracting the moisture and for healing within the skin as well. So those are a few of the ingredients that we're talking about and what they are. So now I'm going to go through the different skincare products, and then I will go through the different equipment, and then I will answer questions at the end, because I'll go off on a tangent on something. I know I will. So Our skincare line is vegan, it's cosmeceutical, and we only give it to professionals. We don't sell it online for anyone. And I love the results with it. I'm really passionate about making sure results, but without spending hundreds of pounds. Now, if you see, like for example, Zeo or anything like that, if you see the markup on some of these products, it's just disgraceful. So I want to give it, to make sure that it's accessible to people, but results. So it's not your over the counter crap, but it is accessible and for people. And that was one of my things as well, to make it results with being able to buy it. So Skin Philosophy Deep Clean. So Deep Clean is our oil cleanser, so like for oily skin, so for congested, acne. It's also for leathery skin, so build-up of dead skin cells. So this is deep clean out of the skin. So it has 5% glycolic, and it also has 2% salicylic. So the glycolic will exfoliate the skin, speed up cell renewal, so it'll unclog the pores. It also will help reduce the pore size through exfoliation of the excess keratinization. And then the salicylic acid will go into the pores, eat away at the bacteria, and also calm the skin down. So it's really, really, really good for breakout skin, congested skin, and the buildup of leathery skin. So if you someone coming back from who lives in Marbella all their life and they have a buildup of leathery skin, this is perfect for them, because it'll help speed up the cell renewal and even out the skin. This is only to be used for oily skin once a day. Our Gentle has antimicrobial properties in it as well. The Deep Clean, I do not agree with using acids twice a day unless you've acne, oily skin. If you've acne skin that's not excessively oily, you're still not to use it twice a day. You should only be using it once a day, because if you use it twice a day, you'll have amazing results, but you're going to get more breakouts because it's just going to do that same thing. I don't agree with using acids on the skin twice a day unless your skin is really bad, unless you're really hormonal and you're creating a lot of oil. Then your skin can take it. Other than that, your skin cannot take it. Doesn't matter what skincare product you're using. So that's our Deep Clean, oily to congested. It is amazing and it is really, really good results. But also you need to explain to the client how to use it properly. So then Gentle Clean. Now I love Gentle Clean. Gentle Clean is like, it smells amazing. It's really nice. It cleans my skin without stripping it. So first of all, it has vitamin B5. Now, if you don't know, vitamin B5 is actually a bigger hydrator to the skin than even hyaluronic acid. So niacinamide or vitamin B5, you'll see it as one or the other. It actually attracts more moisture and more hydration than hyaluronic acid. So this will attract water. So if you've ever seen me talk about dry skin or dehydrated skin, one of the biggest problems is when you wash your skin, you put water on, and water is hydrophobic. So basically it leaches water from your skin. It pulls that. That's why you'll feel like a little bit tight. You shouldn't feel tight afterwards, after any product. But if you rub this in, wash it all off, that actually attracts moisture. So while the water is trying to take moisture away, it's actually giving you more moisture to your skin. Now, this is important for oily skin as well, because we love, as oily skin, not we, because I'm definitely not one, but oily skin, they love to have clean skin, but you need to make sure the pH balance is always all right. So using Gentle Clean will hydrate their skin, give enough water in without leaving residue, leaving excess oil, nothing like that. So if they want to use a clean sponge with it as well, to kind of, that'll help them feel better. But yeah, the Gentle Clean does suit both types of skin. The only person I can put it on is oily acne skin, because you need to use your acids twice a day in that case. Oh yeah, exactly. You can, like, say for me, I got big, okay, it's kind of going down now, but I got, you know, my monthly breakouts, and I use then the Deep Clean to kind of give it a clean out, because it's great to do that just once or twice a week to just exfoliate the skin. Helianthus is from sunflower, and it reduces the moisture loss in your skin. So it comes from sunflower oil, and it's extracted, and you'll hear it is Helianthus. And if you've ever heard it before, it'll actually help bring spots to the surface and reduce moisture loss in the skin, so that you're keeping your skin hydrated without using extra oil. Citrus sinensis is what gives it its smell. It's lovely. It's really nice smell to it. So citrus sinensis, it comes from sweet orange oil. It is antioxidant for anti-aging and antiseptic for breakouts. So the 1% from the sweet orange oil actually breaks down the spots within your skin because of the antiseptic properties to it without stripping your skin. So it's perfect for oily, congested, dry, dehydrated, all skin types except for your oily acne skin. So you get attraction of moisture, you don't lose moisture through washing your skin, you get your antiseptic properties, you get antioxidant properties, and you're reducing your moisture loss through the Helianthus, and it smells nice without having to use perfume. So yeah, I love this. This one is great. If your clients have the oily, if they're afraid, so say for example, if I said to someone, you've oily skin, you should use this cream cleanser, they would be like, not a chance. But it does work for oily skin really, really well. I would just give them this cleansing sponge, so they would feel like they're getting more clean out of it. So pop a pump into your fingertips, don't do hands, fingertips, put it on, rub it into your skin with water, and then get a sponge and wipe it off. And then that oily skin type that likes that clean feeling, they'll get without tightening the skin. So use that. So for oily skin, I would recommend, for normal to oily, yeah, I would recommend Gentle Clean once a day, and then Deep Clean once a day. Gentle Clean is amazing for removing makeup. So you use the Gentle Clean in the evening time rather than in the morning time, and then use the Deep Clean for an exfoliation in the morning to get rid of like dead skin cells in the morning. But using the Gentle Clean, you can get off your mascara and just wash it off. It's brilliant for that. So Brighten is another very popular one. Now, there's a little aspect to this I really like. So we've had, you know, with exfoliators now, you don't want to use plastic, which is obvious. So what we've put into it is quartz stone. Now, I don't know anyone who's into like the healing effects of crystal or stones or stuff like that, but quartz is actually meant to be a major de-stressor on like healing or whatever. So quartz, pink quartz, is what we use as the little tiny grains that you feel within it. It's so nice on the skin. It rolls over the skin. It doesn't cut into the skin. Your skin feels lovely afterwards. And it has that kind of like hippie element of your crystals having healing effects on your skin. It also has vitamin E, which is very healing to your skin. It's hydrating and it's a great antioxidant. It also has a bit of glycolic acid in it. So there's 5% glycolic acid in it to exfoliate the skin. So you have your scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, and then you've 5% glycolic that'll eat away at the dead skin cells to give your skin a glow. There's also in it a iridescent element which gives your skin a glow afterwards. But yeah, really nice in the skin. You can use this because of the glycolic. You can use this on all skin types except for acne skin. I wouldn't use a scrub on acne skin. I would use like salicylic pads. I would use a salicylic mask, but I wouldn't use a scrub on acne skin. So it is for all skin types, except I wouldn't use it on acne because you might spread it. So 2 to 3 times a week. So we know that it'll speed up your cell renewal, lessen the appearance of lines. Like if I'm having one of those days that it's haggard, that those lines are coming through, can't see them now. Yeah, I give my skin a good scrub and I'll just give a glow. Nourish. So I have a big thing with moisturizers, always have. I do not believe in over moisturizing your skin. I do not believe in layering your skin full of oil, because your skin will get lazy and it will stop producing that oil. So your biggest thing with moisturizer is that you should, there's a few rules to use a moisturizer. First of all, don't use moisturizer. Just don't. Doesn't matter how dry your skin is, don't. The sun is making you create enough oil, not just sweat, but oil in your skin, that your Aqua Plus or hyaluronic acid plus your SPF is enough. So don't use a moisturizer during the summer. Use a moisturizer during the winter when elements are starting to dry out your skin and your skin is dry. So for example, like if your skin gets dry and tight and you're inside and the radiators are leaching all that moisture out of it, well, what you need to do is stop that being effective. That's your TEWL, your transepidermal water loss. How do you stop that? But you create a barrier on your skin so that the water doesn't get leached out. That barrier has to be oil, because that's the only way that it keeps the water in. So you do have to put a moisturizer on during the day if you've very dry skin and you're sitting, like it's getting dried out through heating, aircon, whatever. That is when you use a moisturizer. Otherwise, you don't. You don't use it on oily skin. You don't use it on acne skin. You don't use it on rosacea skin. You use it on sensitive skin, but not sensitized. So if you have sensitive skin, like you always have had allergies, prickly heat, hay fever, stuff like that, and you've always had sensitive skin, then you use it. You don't use it otherwise. And you use it on dry skin during the winter. You don't use it at any other stage. So we made a moisturizer that's light but protects the skin, and you should only use it in these stages. So it is a daytime moisturizer. It contains peptides, taro seed extract, emollients, and humectants. So peptides is your anti-aging. So the 2-palmitoyl tripeptides, that's meant to be the other one. So that is the 7 and that is the 1. They stimulate growth factors for even a more youthful appearance. Natural taro seed extract works within the skin to boost moisture levels, and it's also high in vitamin C and B. So it's a great antioxidant and it's a real hydrator in the skin. So there's an anti-aging element to it by stimulating growth factors in the skin. There's a hydrating element and also a healing element and an antioxidant element to it as well. It's very light. It's not very heavy. Like it's not like a rich cream on your skin. It is just perfect for if you're feeling really dry and tight. Like for me, if I'm at home, I have very dry skin. So I will put it on the days I feel dry and tight. That's it. Vitamin C20. So we have two vitamin C's. We have C20 and C10. So the Protect is the C10, which is 10% vitamin C. The C20 is 20% vitamin C. Now, the reason why we have that is the 10% does not contain ferulic acid. So the 10% does not cause breakouts. It's a vitamin C that's safe to use on oily skin. But the 20% don't use on oily breakout skin. If someone has sensitive skin with allergies, sorry, I probably didn't finish the sentence. You can use it. So if someone has sensitive skin with allergy, yes, use it, but not unsensitized. So sensitized is where something is stripped and you need to repair the barrier, and loading on a rich, heavy moisturizer is not going to change it. That's where you come in with your Aqua Plus or even your aloe vera if you're stuck. But your sensitive skin means that your skin is never having that barrier, no matter what you do, because your body's enzyme is not creating it. That enzyme is missing. That's why they have allergies, stuff like that. So for that type of skin, then you give them the moisturizer. They need to have that because their skin's not making it. So then, so this has 20% vitamin C. So this is huge antioxidant, huge lightener, brightener. This I put on out here to protect with my pigmentation, but also the minute I put it on, my lines, which they look so much better. It really does. I'm telling you, this light isn't. So it really is much better after I put them on. I think I missed a part on my eye. Okay, so that is your vitamin C. We all know what it is. The benefits is amazing for the skin. You need to use it. You need to use on aging skin, pigmentation skin, dehydrated skin. If you're doing treatments on someone that you need to stimulate collagen, they need to use it. Oily skin, it's preventative against aging. The only person, leave it off antioxidant, you have priorities over the vitamin C. This one has 0.5% ferulic acid. So ferulic acid is different because it's amazing, because it actually prevents free radical damage. So you have vitamin C, which is a great antioxidant, but it doesn't create that seal to protect your cells, whereas ferulic acid, vitamin E and vitamin C together, the three of them as a combination is almighty. It protects your cells from future damage and neutralizes the damage and increases the effectiveness of vitamin C and vitamin E. So this is why ferulic acid is being used in a lot of formulas, because it boosts vitamin C. It's amazing for preventative, and it boosts vitamin E, and it's a huge antioxidant. It also stabilizes. So we know vitamin C is highly unstable. You can't have exposed to air. You can't have it being left open. Even when you put it on your skin, when you go out, you can smell it oxidizing. So ferulic acid makes it less reactive to all those extremities. So this is another reason why it's being used in formulas. So for anti-aging, for pigmentation, this is amazing for it. Vitamin E is also an antioxidant, promotes skin healing and seals in moisture. So vitamin E is also helping with our oil levels. So that is your dry, aging skin, that it's sealing oil levels. I would go more for the Protect antioxidant C10 rather than C20 for sensitized dry rosacea, because vitamin C changes your pH. It changes your pH to 3.7 to allow better penetration, up to 5 like, so basically your pH of your skin is 4.5, 5.5. That's what it should be. But to allow penetration of vitamin C, it actually adjusts your pH. So the pH, when you apply it, this is why I always say apply hyaluronic acid once it's absorbed into the skin. But it changes the pH of your skin. Now, if you've strip sensitized skin, I would go for the 10% vitamin C, because you would have more chance of a reaction going on the C20 first. Go on the C10, the protect antioxidant first, and then build up the repair barrier, and then move on to the C20, because a lot of people have reactions to active vitamin C. So it's just something to take into consideration. I've seen it quite a few times. If they have a reaction, don't worry, fine. Stop using it for a few days, use your Aqua Plus, forget about it, and then we'll come back to it in a week's time. Vitamin A, vitamin C. So if you're in a dropper bottle, so basically ours is in the little pumpy thing. But yeah, it is, because a dropper bottle, okay, how you know is you smell it. Smell the iron, that's oxidization to the vitamin C. That means your vitamin C has turned into a gangster. So if it's in a dropper bottle, make sure you use it within 10 days to 3 weeks. Depends on their stability, depends on the manufacturer, but you make sure you use it within that time. If you smell it oxidizing, like smell it and it looks orangey, throw it out. It doesn't work. It is better to have in the pumpy ones. That's why we have a dropper for the kojic acid, for the lighten one, but not for any of the others, because the kojic acid is fine. Yeah, 100%. Droppers, open seal, being exposed to sunlight. So say, for example, you'll get droppers that are see-through. They're bad. They're exposed to sunlight. Sunlight oxidizes the vitamin C. So yeah, definitely 100%. Make sure that if you're using vitamin C, it's in a container. Okay, Clarity. So Clarity is back. Basically, we didn't realize this. Charcoal is used in PPE. I don't know. So the manufacturers had serious problems with getting charcoal. So we couldn't produce Clarity for the last year. Anybody who's used this loves this. So this is activated coconut with also activated coconut charcoal with also kojic acid in it. This is a mask that you put on. It does not peel off. It is wash off. It is a little bit of a pain to get off, so make sure you put it on thinly. It helps with congestion. It helps with brightening the skin. So say, for example, my skin, if it needed a little bit of a lift and decongest around nose and chin, this will decongest all that area, but also cause a little slight exfoliation through kojic acid and the brightening effect. The brightening effect through the kojic acid as well. So activated coconut charcoal to absorb toxins, draws impurities, calms and hydrates tired skin. I know everyone's saying this. Everyone's dying to get their hands on this. So 2% kojic acid to lighten and brighten for a more vibrant complexion. I love kojic acid, but this one, it's amazing because it'll just give your skin a boost straight away. Decongests, brightens and hydrates. And you leave it on for 10 to 20 minutes. And even if you, say, for example, just use on the T-zone just to clear out your skin, it's brilliant for that. So you try and use it twice a week. I probably use it maybe once a month when I need a boost. But yeah, it's recommended they use it twice a week. Skin brightening serum is our new product. So we've called this Lighten because it is specifically for pigmentation. This is using a lot of different ingredients to break down the superficial pigmentation on the top of the skin and also prevent pigmentation underneath. Now, I've been out here 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and like I've been using it, and normally I get like a huge shadow. I get this pigmentation somewhere there. somewhere there. Trying to get the light again. And yeah, so basically it's just helps me stop turning into cookie. I don't know what else would look spotty and freckly. So yeah, this is for your pigmentation. The good thing about it is that you can use it on all skin types. So if you have someone like with Indian skin that gets pigmentation but also gets breakouts, the vitamin C is not going to work with their skin, the higher strength one, because it's going to cause stimulation of oils within the skin, especially your C20 with ferulic and vitamin E. So this is Lisa has some clarity. I sent it in the box. I think she got it last night. Don't tell anyone. So basically, natural lemon and licorice extract to lift pigmentation. That's just exfoliation to brighten up the skin. 2% alpha-arbutin, which is amazing tyrosine inhibitor, to prevent pigmentation. 2% glutathione, which is your obviously very strong antioxidant, and 5% azelaic acid. So just imagine you have that type of skin types, that PIHs. They get breakouts, they get pigmentation around their spots or from scarring, and you can't use vitamin C on them because it will create breakouts. This is perfect for that. You have that person that is going into the sun and they want something to put on the evening time because they forget during the night. You do not use this during the day. There's too much acids in it, too much photosensitivity. You only use it in the evening. It suppresses the tyronase inhibitor. If you have someone you're really worried about, make sure they use it 2 weeks before they go into the sun to get their skin prepped to calm down the tyrosine activators, amino acids, peptides. So yeah, this is amazing for lifting pigmentation, dealing with pigmentation, very active. Don't use it with the roller. Don't use it in the daytime. You make sure you're using your SPF. And no, azelaic acid, salicylic acid, retinol, stay off during breastfeeding. It's fine. There's nothing that can really go wrong, but there's nothing proven to say it's right. So yeah, I would just avoid for breastfeeding, definitely retinol, and really azelaic acid and salicylic acid I would as well too. But you're nearly there. You'll be nearly finished soon and you can use proper stuff. Okay, a Protect SPF is SPF 50. Now, we were at the polo the other day and I passed this around the table because we were all sitting there, white skin in the heat and not any SPF. And so basically I passed this around the table and everyone, men included, loved it because it is light. It doesn't sit on your skin. It doesn't cause tackiness. And I didn't tell them, the men at the time, but there's slight iridescent. It's not a tint. It's a slight iridescent. So it gives your skin a little bit of a glow when you put it on. It has your UVA and UVB filters. Unfortunately, we cannot make a physical SPF that's lightweight. It's always, because of the zinc is such a large molecule, so there has to be some organic SPFs in it to do as well, some chemical ones. So it does protect your UVA, UVB. It is lightweight, but the downside is it isn't all physical. You just can't do it. Hyaluronic acid, 2%. So not only is it protecting you, but it'll add hydration to your skin. You don't need to wear a moisturizer with this. This will do as your moisturizer. Vitamin E, 2% for protection and healing. Obviously, it's a great antioxidant. Obviously, it's a great healer for the skin, helps your immune system within your skin. Aloe vera as well for calming and hydrating. Yeah, it's just a really nice, lightweight SPF that doesn't clog your pores, doesn't cause spots, and it just has that little bit of iridescent to it. Overnight repair. So overnight repair is basically Yeah, it's fine for oily skin. Be careful with acne, like really strong, aggressive acne. It'll be fine with oily skin with breakouts. Like I won't name the brand, but every time I put on SPF, and I don't even get breakouts that much, but every time I put on their sun factor, as good as it was, I got breakouts. This does not give you breakouts, so it doesn't matter. Oily, congested, nothing. It's perfect. Overnight repairs. So we had a problem with the fact that, well, I find it a bit of a pain. Two things with retinol is that the fact if you use a strong one, you're peeling, and you can't. So if anyone knows me, is I have like, I'm all or nothing. So basically, don't tell me to put on something once or twice a week, because more than likely I'll put it on once or twice a month. I either put it on every night and remember, or I won't put it on at all. So we loved the growth factor serum with it, with the retinol in it, because it was a perfect night serum, and they had retinol in it, and so it was helping with combating aging. Now, what we found is once they took out the retinol, there was no night moisturizers. This was the start of it. This actually was the start of it, because basically before this, I was like, no, I'll never do skincare because I love ZO. And, they have everything and there's too many competitors and I couldn't be bothered. And when they changed the growth factor serum, I was like, there are very little product lines I like, but then there's very little night creams that, I don't believe in night creams, but to use in the evening, a retinol just to use every day. So we developed a retinol with lower percentage, still impact, but enough to use every day without causing irritation. So the biggest thing is to have it slow release with hyaluronic acid, so it didn't change the pH of the skin, still getting into the skin, stimulating collagen, but without the aggression. It obviously, if you take 1%, and we are doing that 1% retinol, we are doing it because people want that. If you take 1% retinol, you will have more results with it quicker, because it is a stronger retinol that works better, 100%. But my thing is I'd rather use a lesser retinol every day and remember to use it than use it once a month. That was my thinking. So if you have someone that wants the 1% retinol, not retinol palmitate, but retinol, we have that. It's common. But if they don't want the irritation, if they don't want to use it once or twice a week, if they just want a night cream that's anti-aging, then this is it. So it's 0.8% retinol palmitate. So remember we said retinol palmitate, it has to change into retinol. So it needs to be converted a few times. So it's not as strong as the retinol, but it still increases cell turnover. It still stimulates collagen production. It still helps with fine lines. It still helps with rete ridges. It still helps with telomere lengthening. So it's just at a lower dose. There's also a peptide in it called arginine. So arginine was one of the ones that came out with Matrixyl 3000 and Snake. I really think it's definitely Snake at that time. And it was because it was proven that when you put it into the skin, it would maintain that cell membrane around your cells. So every cell has a cell membrane that basically breaks down through the process. And what you want to do is you want to maintain the cell membrane. And arginine was proven, or is proven, still is, to maintain that. So it's amazing for helping against anti-aging, that helps, like free radical stuff like that affects it. It has 1% hyaluronic acid for hydration. Also as well, so if your skin is feeling more dried out, it'll help. But because of the retinol, the same as the growth factor serum, because of the retinol, if you have oily acne skin, it won't congest your pores because of the retinol in it. So it'll hydrate it without clogging your pores, because when you put retinol into the mix, it means increases cell turnover, so it doesn't allow for blockages. So you can use this on all skin types and provide some not much needed extra care for your skin to help it repair and renew from the stresses of the day while you sleep. Okay, and then skin renewal, wrong picture. So the skin renewal is a serum you put on that is a lot of acids in it. And the reason why you put this on is to stimulate cell renewal, to basically take off a few layers. So skin renewal is for your oily, congested, or leathery skin. Same as your deep clean. This is kind of the same person's. So it has 12% glycolic, which will increase cell turnover, which will help with extra keratinization, excess keratinization. It'll help with overall dull skin. It'll help with dehydration. It'll help with your retinal ridges, which is the anti-aging effect as well. So it is leathery skin, oily, congested skin. It has 5% salicylic acid, which also 0.5%, which will also eat away at any bacteria and to help with breakouts or spots. It is 2% hyaluronic acid, so it will do all of this and still hydrate your skin. So for example, the other day when I got this bad boy, I used the renewal serum and the blue LED light. So I put the blue LED light on top of the renewal serum and allowed it to just eat away at the dead skin cells to clear out my skin. So this is perfect for that. This is perfect for acne skin. Acne skin, you can use it every single day. Areas of congestion, you can use it every single day. I would say using it every other day after that. Like say, for example, for me, I wouldn't use this every day. I don't need to. I'm using my Aqua Plus, my vitamin C, and my Lighten. They're all my priority for my aging dry skin. But if I want to give my skin a boost, get rid of dead skin cells, the top few little layers of dead skin cells, then this will do that. Okay, I'll get to that now, 2 seconds. So it'll increase cell turnover, reveal fresh, younger looking skin, and it is effective at controlling breakouts, reducing pigmentation, and fine lines. Okay, so 0.25 retinol and 0.8% retinol palmitate it really actually depends on who's giving it out. So I don't go for anything under 0.5% with retinol palmitate because it doesn't work. So if it's 0.25% retinol, then it's different. Then if it's actually retinol, then it's a little bit like along the same lines. You can use it every day, 0.2, 0.25, you can use it every day and it's fine. So they're along the same lines. But if it's 0.25% retinol palmitate, then it's not doing anything. So that's the difference. It depends. You have to look at the ingredients. So for example, if it is if it is, say for example, the ordinary, 100%, it's not proper retinol, 100%. So I wouldn't use that. Yeah, so it's probably about the same, the 0.25 retinol on it. So when you convert it over, it works out about 0.2. I would put it at more for the retinol. But yeah, again, it's the same thing. Is it encapsulated? Is it slow releasing? Is it what's it put in with? Say, for example, our retinol palmitate is put in with hyaluronic acid. And the reason for that is to calm the retinol so that it's not changing the pH, it's restoring it. So yeah, it'll have a factor on it, but also the hyaluronic acid affects it being within the skin. So it's not just about the percentages, it's about the formula. That actually brings up a good point, because if you take the 0.25, the one you're speaking about, that will feel more irritating on the skin than ours. I know, because we had it. This is another way we were going. People loved the 1 and the 0.5, but the 0.25% from the retinol from the Lumiere wasn't as popular, and we didn't really get it in after that, and we also had a problem with the eye one as well. Okay, so The 0.8%, yeah, so that's the same as you're converting over, it's about the same. But one you can use every evening. So say, for example, if you wanted to compare both of those, okay, I'm just thinking about the ingredients and the way it is. 0.25, and then 1. So it would be more fur if you were, I would be adding the 0.25 Illumier one in for oily congested skin, and I wouldn't be like oily congested acne skin as a boost to their acne protocol. That would fit in perfectly. Whereas overnight repair, I would put more for your anti-aging, pigmentation, that kind of stuff, just because of the other ingredients with it. Any other questions just before we go on to? Okay, so okay, someone's asked, how about seasons like summer versus winter for retinol? Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, okay, you're on 1% retinol for 4 days a week. Okay, your skin has really gotten used to the retinol then, which is good. But if you're using for summer, you should be using a much lesser one, especially if you're prone to pigmentation, especially if you're living somewhere warm or hot. I stay off retinol like at home during the summer. I just stay off it. The 1%, the strong one. Still use my overnight repair. But yeah, I just stay off it. My skin is white. It's prone to pigmentation. I stay off it. Cosmetic book for ingredients, I don't think there is one. I don't have one. I don't know of one. There could be. You could check Amazon. Yeah, everything's recorded, so you can always watch at a later date. Okay. So LED mask. So now you're having, so basically the reason why we said Skin Philosophy 360 skincare is because 360 is your full circle. Now, what I mean by that is Skin Philosophy Skin Care is going to be your, it's basically going to be your consultation first, analyzing the skin properly, looking at all stages of their life, like their lifestyle, like their skincare routine, coming up with the skin products and enhancing it with your treatments at home, with your treatments in clinic. So the reason why it's not just lockdown with treatments at home, but I really like our clients were coming in, like we'd have the membership for one every 6 weeks. And the difference, if they use some at-home products, trying to get them in any sooner than 6 weeks was no, because they were mum's business, blah, blah, blah. But the difference with their skin to just use products in between coming in was huge. So like you should be adding it in 100% with your skincare. Why wouldn't you use equipment at home to enhance your results? And why wouldn't you have it as an extra source of revenue? So LED light is light emitting diodes. We all know about it. We have the webinar. The LED webinar is a link in the bio, same as all the webinars will be a link in our bios in Instagram or on the website. So the LED is going to be red light is collagen stimulation. Why? Through those light emitting diodes, it creates a reaction, stimulates a reaction in the immune system, and that stimulates fibroblast activity. Yellow light stimulates pigmentation to have a tyrosinase inhibitor, and the blue light is antibacterial. So LED has been proven long time ago that it works. If you look up the clinical trials, there are an amount on them about the results of it. What we did was we did that and then one extra treatment into it. So I found with LED lights is, one, because you don't feel anything. Clients are going, can I see a difference? Can I not? And two, I had it in my head 18 months ago, 2 years ago, there are not enough eye treatments. I think I tortured people at the clinic saying it. There needs to be more eye stuff, because one of the big areas is eye areas. So we added in, we got this where it has the eye treatment in it. So basically vibrates and heats to 40 degrees to stimulate lymphatic flow, to stimulate circulation, to help with fine lines. So that's what the eye thing is for. It's brilliant for enhancing, you know, the eye area, for helping with lines, for helping with puffiness, for brighter eyes. It's so good. Plus as well, that heat in that area also stimulates circulation within the rest of your skin. So if you put on a product first, it will help with the absorption of ingredients. 2 to 3 times a week. You can use it after rollering. All of these are CE marked, all of them. You can use after rollering, and that'll help. So basically, if you do rollering, you get a little bit red. If you put it on, leave it on for 10 minutes, it'll actually help the healing within the skin if you use the red light. Then the eye tight is like, this is phenomenal. This is just, anybody, if you use this 2 to 3 times a week, your results are amazing. I haven't built up enough before and afterwards. I'm not forgetting. I'm one of those people that make sure you get before and after pictures, and then I forget. Everybody. I'm actually going to do a treatment out here tomorrow on someone, and I'm going to make sure, because this is going to be good results. But yeah, it's amazing. So it's using 2 different types of technology. EMS, which is muscular stimulation, which we know from facial electrics, you're working on the belly or the either end of the muscle to stimulate the muscles to lift and tighten. The reason why this happens is because the same as the gym. If we work out our muscles, they become lifted, tightened, and stronger, whereas if we don't, they become lax over time, and this is what happens at part of the atrophy of our face. So lifting, tightening around the areas, so it's lifting the orbicularis oculi, and also at the same time it is using clip technology to move lymphatic system within that area to help with puffiness, retention, anything like that. The clip technology picks up the muscle and passes the current through it so that it works more effectively than just on the skin. So on the skin, it works more of basically you're getting to it. But if you pick it up, then you're working through that muscle to lift and tighten. It's so effective. I can 100% say there is nothing as strong or as effective out there. Never mind just for eyes, for face as well. It is brilliant. So with it, we have like a larger head, which you can pick, and like, I'm the perfect type of person. This is to lift and tighten, so to grab onto excess skin and to work around the eye area. But yeah, it's brilliant for that. Just any excess skin, work out the muscles, increase the circulation, it lifts and tightens. I done a video during the lockdown, the first. It's on our IGTVs, and it's me doing the video, and you can see huge difference afterwards, live as you watch it. And that lasted about 3 days, and that was the kind of first in-depth treatment I was showing on my face, and I've been using it since. And like, you'll see with the very start of the first video the difference with it. Lift is, you know, when you get the blending into 2, so basically you get the jowly bits. So lift is better for, it's not as much for thin skin, it is better for lifting and tightening your, like, I'm trying to say this in a nice way, but if someone has like saggy jaws, that's where lift and tighten. Yes, it does give long-term results. The same as anything gives long-term results. Nothing is permanent. You are going to age, but it is not a 5-minute job. So that first time, sorry, I didn't finish the sentence. The first time I done it, that first time lasted 3 days. So what we say is you do it 4 days in a row, and then you use it once or twice a week. That's it. Like I'm not even using it twice a week at the moment because I just forget. But yes, to the ability, the exact same of a KC treatment would, 100%. To the same of anything, yeah, it is not, oh, a lift and 5 minutes later it drops. That is not the way it works. The lift is basically, so it's more for jowls. That's the word, jowls. So it's basically if you've gotten fatty area, it'll lift and tighten with that. Now, if you go on our Instagram, you'll see, and the students who were on that course will verify this, but one of the girls ladies, she was a model, that picture of her, the last picture of before and after on our Skin Philosophy Skincare Instagram page, that picture is 100%. That was her face just after the products and the lift. That was all we did. I think we did vacuum suction as well. I'm sure one of the girls who were on that course will tell me. But that is her face with just the lift. Just doing that and just the products. Amazing, amazing, amazing results. We were delighted with it. First time I actually got proper remembered to take it. We have the cryo rollers. So basically we are using, so you can go through our site to buy any of the products from Skin Philosophy, or you can go through the clinics that buy them. So we have Skin Philosophy that you can go through. We'll do a consultation with you, whatever we recommend you can purchase. There's also a link on our Skin Philosophy Instagram if you want to do a consultation and recommendations. Also, we have on Skin Philosophy Skincare, all of those, we have the stockists, the people who are near you that you can see or talk to, or even you might know for a consultation as well. So you can do that as well. Yeah. Okay, so the cryo rollers, that's just a nice lymphatic drainage, cooling, relaxing rollers. You put them in the fridge. We used to have the glass ones. We switched to the steel ones because I put mine in the freezer and it broke everywhere. We switched to the gold ones just because one, they look nicer, and also the steel is better. Keep it in the fridge, doesn't crack, and just using the long helps stimulate lymphatic system, helps stimulate circulation. It's like if you're using any of the other machines, you're doing that anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if you're not and you want something relaxing and de-stressing, then that's perfect for that. Rollers. So there was a question about what we use with the rollers, and there was a question before that, does it have to be CE marked? Everything has to be CE marked for using with it, because you're opening up the skin, and if you use something that's not CE marked and you're selling it to clients, you're going to have big trouble, big trouble. Like even the other day, I put the overnight repair on after, it was at least 20-30 minutes after I had rollers, but it stung. It bloody stung, because you should only be using your vitamin C and your Aqua Plus. Those are the ones that are made to go with rollering, not your Lighten, not your overnight repair, not your Nourish, not your renewal serum. You do not use those with it. They have to be specific ones, otherwise they'll cause irritation. And like I was something like Home Alone, like so yeah, just I had a bath when I did the rollering, so my skin was still red hot. It was my own fault. Normally by half an hour your skin is calmed down. And the VIT 10, yeah, the VIT 10, not the VIT 20. Again, it's too active and too many different ingredients into it. And also the ferulic acid, with using it with rollers, it's because of the stimulation of oil production, it's not great. So yeah, VIT 10 and Aqua Plus is the only ones we use with the rolling. Rolling should be every single one of your clients. It's 25, 30 quid. It's a proper roller, proper rubberized silicone, so it's a nice grip on it. It's stainless, titanium, 540 needles, gentle 0.25, enhances penetration. Every client should be using it. Like, this is the one, like, it's so, why would you put this into your skincare when you can see such a difference? Anyone who uses this regularly, aging, scarring, open pores, pigmentation, everything, it's brilliant for. So every client should be using that, enhance the product penetration, enhance the results. Such amazing results. If my other half is looking a bit old, I'm like, you're older, go roll your face. You need to roll your face. So honestly, it is, for the expense of it, all clients should be using this on their skin. The only one is, don't use it on active acne, or if you have rosacea, don't use it on active rosacea. Don't use it on like these areas. You can use it on the forehead, but anywhere of active rosacea, active acne, you're not going to use it on. But everything else, you should be using it on. It's amazing. Every client should have it as an add-on. Rollers, you use it twice a week. You can use it 3 times a week. If you say, for example, you're trying to get rid of deep lines, you're trying to get rid of scarring, you can use it 3 times a week. Okay, so now all that information we're going to just summarize. So if we're talking about dry skin, we would recommend Gentle Clean Cleanser. We would recommend Brighten. We would recommend Nourish in the winter. We'd recommend Aqua Plus and SPF during the summer. SPF is all year round, but Nourish in the winter, and Overnight Repair. Those are kind of your key things, are your cleanser, your exfoliator, your Aqua Plus. Those are the most important things. Nourish during the winter, Overnight Repairs, your anti-aging. They should have a roller. Dry, dehydrated skin cannot improve unless the ingredients can get in and you can increase that cell renewal. Remember, juicy grape up to the top layers of the skin. So dry skin must have your Gentle Clean, your Brighten. The reason why I say this, certain influencer says that different cleansers don't matter because you're washing them off. Actually, they do, because yes, you're allowing for the moisture to be taken out of your skin and you're going to put heavy moisturizer on. Yeah, of course you are. No, you need to make sure that if you're using a cleanser, like anybody who has clients and they see clients coming in with, after using like something like Clinique cleanser or something like that, like their skin is destroyed. Their skin is so much worse. So yeah, cleanser matters. Making sure not to strip the moisture out of your skin when you've dry skin matters. So you just make sure that they're using good cleanser, they're exfoliating, cell renewal, and they're hydrating, Aqua Plus. Those are your 3 minimums. I know, I didn't realize it'd take this long. How do you clean the roller? You need a disinfectant spray. You can buy it on Amazon. We used to have them, but ever since COVID, it was really hard to get them for a certain amount of time. So disinfectant spray, they're all over Amazon for a few pound. You can also wash it, anti-bac it that way. In your clinic, you'll have your surgical spirits, diluted in a bit of surgical spirits, you can do that. But the clients, they need a disinfectant spray because they won't know that. Aging is pretty much the same, except for you need vitamin C. Your vitamin C is because there's no point in stimulating collagen without vitamin C levels in the skin. We have your Overnight Repair is your retinol, and Lighten if they have pigmentation. They should have the Eye Tight if they're really aging, or if it's preventative aging, it should be the LED mask. Again, roller should be, but LED mask for using. Yes, that's a good idea. Clinisept is amazing. Clinisept to clean the rollers, definitely. The aging pigmentation, the lighten, exfoliation. You can even use the renewal as a good one to exfoliate the skin and get the dead skin cells off. So pigmentation, you can use the deep clean and the renewal a couple of times a week to move the pigmentation. But if it's more thinner skin, like say mine, you'd only use it every so often. You wouldn't use it on a regular basis. Oily congest roller lasts 2 to 3 months. 2 months if you're using it 2 to 3 times a week, but the needles will blunt at some stage. So if they blunt, imagine bent needles rolling into your skin. It's not nice. They tear. It's not good for the skin. So make sure that you're changing it 2 to 3 months, depending on your use. Oily, congested skin. So deep clean in the morning, gentle clean in the evening, scrub 2 to 3 times a week, serum 2 to 3 times a week, your renewal serum, and your Aqua Plus is your moisturizer. So you don't have a moisturizer, you have Aqua Plus as your moisturizer. That's your hydrator. Acne skin, so deep clean morning and night. Renewal on the areas of congestion, morning and night, and your Aqua Plus as a moisturizer. And that's it. The combination skin. So say, for example, someone who has breakouts, but they've also irritated skin. So same thing. Deep clean in the morning, gentle clean in the evening. Make sure it's not stripped acid mantle. If it's stripped acid mantle, then they just use gentle clean and Aqua Plus for 2 weeks. Nothing else. Nothing at all else. So gentle clean for combination skin, deep clean in the morning, gentle clean in the evening. So deep clean in the evening, I'll go back over that. Gentle clean in the evening, the exfoliator 2 to 3 times a week. So exfoliator is 2 to 3 times a week on every skin apart from acne skin. Acne skin, you're going to use the renewal serum to exfoliate. The oily congested skin is basically the same as combination skin, except combination skin, you're going to add the renewal serum to the areas of breakout. So oily congested and combination are quite similar. So deep clean in the morning, gentle clean in the evening, exfoliator 2 to 3 times a week. Congestion, any congestion, put it on combination or oily, put the renewal serum on in the evening times. Your Aqua Plus is your moisturizer. For any oil, Aqua Plus is the moisturizer. The LED light for someone with breakouts. So that I'm going to answer these questions. Does electrical exfoliations brush harsh to the skin? It depends on how often you're using them. If you're using something like Clarisonic, don't. If you're using something like Foreo, it's not too bad. If it's a couple of times a week, again, I wouldn't. Just think about the process. You're mechanically exfoliating your skin every day. Any products for rosacea? Okay, so rosacea is 2 things. Either you have sensitivity and dried out. So sensitivity and dried out rosacea is very different than rosacea with excess oil and bumps underneath the skin. So if you've bumps underneath the skin, you need to lower the amount of oil production in your skin and lower the amount of bacteria. So some people who have bumps underneath the skin are afraid to use strong products because they think it's going to make their skin sensitive, because they think rosacea is sensitivity. Bumps underneath the skin is excessive oil and excessive bacteria have done it. So deep clean, renewal, and LED, your blue lights. Don't use the exfoliator because you're rubbing on your skin. And a good one to add into it is your overnight repair, because the retinol really helps with it. Now, if it's sensitive, dry, rosacea, that's redness, now you have to repair your barrier. So it's completely the opposite. So now you go Gentle Clean, you go Aqua Plus, and you go Vitamin C, because you're repairing your barrier and you're healing your skin, because it's a type of sensitivity. Again, I would use your LED. It would really help with stimulating collagen and your healing of your skin. Okay, what was the next one? Okay, I'll go over those ones again. Can we use roller 0.25 twice a week if we were using? Yes, of course, 100%. Superficial peels you can use once every 2 weeks, and you can still use your rollers. So yeah, not a problem. I'm obviously love my treatments, and I'd still roll twice a week, 100%. Are the cryo rollers available for retail? They are. They're available. We haven't put them on the website, but they're available. We're going to have them through the stockist shortly, so they'll be on the shop shortly. Yeah, we have the blue ones on the shop, but we're taking those down and putting the gold ones up. Okay, so dry, just think about replacing the oils. You need your dry, Gentle Clean, exfoliator, speeding up your cell renewal, your vitamin C, your Aqua Plus, and your overnight repair. Aging is pretty much the same, except for adding vitamin C, C20, and your lighten. Pigmentation is the exact same. Using your skin renewal and your lighten to lift any pigmentation. Oily congested is for any breakouts, so you need your blue light, you need deep clean, but you also need your Gentle Clean, because you don't want to use your deep clean night and morning, and you need your exfoliator, and you need your oily congested, your renewal cream for any areas of congestion. Combination is the exact same. And then acne is deep clean night and morning, no exfoliator, renewal serum on areas of congestion, and use Aqua Plus on the same thing. Julie, I saw your thing about the jojoba oil earlier, and I'm just not going to comment on that one, because no. La Roche-Posay are good ones as cosmetic. They used to be a pharmaceutical company, so their initial product development was really good, from really good place. They more got bought over and developed just into cosmetics, so they watered it down, made it more profitable, and put it online. But out of everything online, it's the best you're going to kind of get from Boots. To become a stockist, you can download, there is like a brochure, or you can contact us. Also, I'll get Christine to contact everyone who's been on, to send them information with the brochure and everything on it. No, ascorbyl tetrapalmitate is not more stable, but it is it's hydrophilic. So it means it's actually, it's not that it's more stable, but it's in a more, it can be in more stable form. So the actual vitamin C is it's good for, say, for example, anti-aging, lifting pigmentation, more than for breakouts, stuff like that. How long can we use the same bottle? Once it's open, 3 weeks. Do your prices include the VAT? I've signed up and now have accounts, but does that mean I'm a stockist? So if, Gemma, I approved your account this morning. So if you go on to Skin Philosophy training website, register as a wholesale stockist, then that we'll approve you once we see you're an actual clinic, and as long as nobody else has a clinic in that area with Skin Philosophy, we'll approve you, and then you can get the products wholesale there. Yes, those are the wholesale prices. Basically, the price you see, so when you see, say, for example, the cleanser, say if it's 50 quid, when you click on it, it'll be like 45 plus VAT. So when you add it to the cart, you have the breakdown of the VAT included. So it appears more expensive until you click onto it, add it to the cart, and then you can see where, so then it's VATable, so then you can claim back your VAT. So yeah, once you go onto Skin Philosophy training website, you can access the wholesale sites, wholesale. You just have to, if you don't get approved, just remind me to improve you. Because for some reason we're not getting notifications of it. But yeah, I approved you, Gemma, as a wholesaler this morning. Okay, any more questions?